In this video, I'll demonstrate how to work with traces in SeismicCanvas. First, let's open up some SAC files. We can select traces by clicking on them. Shift-click selects multiple traces. You can also drag select traces. Notice that only portions of the traces are selected. Or you have a button to select all or deselect all traces. Traces can be freely moved in the vertical direction in List View. We also can arrange the traces by the order added, station name, distance, azimuth, or back azimuth. Right now the traces can't be moved horizontally because we're in absolute time. We'll make some picks. Now let's change the canvas view to relative time. We can align the traces now. In this case, we'll align them by absolute time, event origin time, or we can align them by our picks. Notice we haven't made picks on two of the traces, so we get a warning. The traces without picks are highlighted. If we add picks, we can now realign them and the warnings disappear. Let's select portions of all the traces. We can trim the traces to the selection. Now that we're in relative time, we're free to move the traces both vertically and in time. Let's format these traces. We'll assign them different colors. If we select some traces, now we can overlay them. We'll align them by their p-picks and overlay the selected traces. We can zoom in to arbitrary levels of zoom. Rearranging the traces undoes the overlay. Now let's look at a record section view. We're still in relative time, so we can move the traces in time, but now we can't move them vertically because they're locked, in this case, to their distance from the epicenter. If we go to absolute time, the traces are now locked in both directions. We can directly manipulate the amplitude of a trace, and we can directly manipulate the starting and ending times of a selection. Now we'll plot the spectrum of the selection. We can show the traces in true relative amplitudes. In this case, changing the amplitude of one trace changes the amplitudes of all the traces.